Hello and welcome back to a new video here in the Trading for Everyone channel. Today we're going to analyze Chime. Chime is a fintech. It's one of the leaders in the neobank world in the United States. What is a neobank? It's a fintech that works closely with different USA banks in order to provide all the service that you normally use in a common bank, a Chase or whatever bank you are using, but free of charge and with a lot more benefits. This fintech started in 2012, so already past 10 years since it launched, and it keeps increasing more benefits every month. With this fintech, you can get a debit and a credit card free of charge, and you can even get overdraft fee-free. This is something that the common banks charge you a lot every time that your balance goes below zero. Another one is that you can get paid early if you define a debit credit from your employer. You can get paid up to 2 days early in comparison with getting paid with a normal bank. It's free of charge, so there's no minimum balance, no monthly fees, no overdraft, no foreign transaction fees. And the most common question that most of people has with this type of fintech is how I can withdraw and how can I top up my account with cash. Well, even though with this fintech you can use any Walgreens free of charge as an ATM. So in any Walgreens that you find, you can cash out or cash in as it is an ATM. Remember that Chime is a fintech, so it has no banks, physical banks, as normal bank does. And even though you can use 7-Elevens, CVS and so on. They generate a bill credit feature, so if you have any issue with your credit score, you can start using the Visa credit that Chime offers to some of their users, and in that way you can start increasing your credit card score in order to get a loan in the future. You can pay anyone fast and free that has a Chime account without paying any fees and without having to wait to receive the transaction. If you decide to save money using Chime app, you are going to get paid 2% API. It seems not too much, but if you compare with the average normal API of normal banks, this is 11 times more. So while you have your money in your bank account, you are going to earn 2% annually. You can also select a lot of alerts, so anytime that you make a purchase, you're going to receive a pop-up message in your phone, transactions, and so on. Focus a lot on security and customer service, and as any other bank, you are protected by the FDIC up to $250,000 because Chime is not a bank but works with Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank, and those are members of the FDIC. So in case that you have money in the application and the application go bankruptcy, even though you are covered by the federal insurance. As I said before, you can bank with no monthly fee at all, no minimum balance, no monthly fees, no overdraft fee, and you can get your money in cash in any Walgreens, 7-Eleven or CVS by free. You can search in your mobile app that you can download in Google Play or Apple Store, where you can find the closest Walgreens in order to cash out. They developed something that is called SpotMe. This is a feature in order to cover you in case that you use more funds that you already have in your account. For example, if you have $10 but you buy something that costs $20, you are going to be below $10. In most of the common banks, you are going to be charged a lot while you use that, but in this case, Chime covers that consume until you deposit more funds. As I said before, there are more than 60,000 ATMs, and this is more than the top 3 national banks combined, because you can use any 7-Eleven or Walgreens to cash out. In here, this is the table that is important to have in mind. For example, if you use Chase or Bank of America, you're going to get charged $34 or $35 each time you go below zero in your balance. That's called an overdraft fee. And for example, to open an account in Chime, you don't need a minimum balance requirement. But in Chase or Bank of America, you have to have at least $25 or $100 in your bank account in order to keep using. And on top of that, you have to pay normally $25 per month as an account service fee, but in Chime you are going to pay 0. As I said before, if you decide to save money using this fintech, you're going to get 2% annual percent yield. That's 11 times more than the national average. You don't have to pay any fee to use this feature, and it has a quite cool feature that enables you, for example, if you go to a cafe and you buy a coffee and you pay, for example, $2.55, the 45 cents are going to round it up and transfer straight away to your savings account in order to force you to save. It's a feature that could help the people that struggle to save money. As I said before, it's protected by the federal insurance up to $250,000. This is the chart compares the API that you get using Chime in comparison with the average 0.17% annually. So it's quite high. Another feature that could be useful for you, for example, you can set up an amount of money, and each time you get paid, you receive your salary. That amount of money, for example, you get paid $1,000 or $2,000, and each time you receive a payment, the application is going to set aside $100 in order to save that money and avoid wasting that amount of money in things that you didn't need. So it could help you to start saving and grow your wealth. There's no overdraft fees. They developed SpotMe, so as explained before, each time you go below 0, you're not going to be charged, and even though Chime covers that amount of money until you get more money into your app. For example, normal banks makes you wait 2 days or up to 2 days in order to receive your monthly payment, but if you use this application, you're going to get up to 2 days up earlier that payment, so it could be useful for getting the money before. To be able to use this alternative, you have to set a direct deposit into Chime account, and this is quite useful if you have any issue with your credit score. You can start using the Visa credit card that Chime's offered to you. There's no annual fee, no interest, no credit card check apply, so you can get the credit card even though you have issues with your credit scores, and it's no minimum security deposit required. But how it works? You have money in your checking account, you move that money into your credit builder secure account, and that money you can start spending using your credit card. So it works as a prepaid card because you already have the money. But in order to help you to increase your credit card score, each month the application is going to transfer the information to the major credit bureaus in order to increase your credit score. So it's a safe way in order to start spending using your credit card. But why is safe? Because you don't have to get that money after. You already have that money in your account. So you transfer that money that you already have in your checking account to your credit builder, and then you spend using the credit card. But it's not really a credit card, it's a prepaid card. But the way it works helps you to increase your credit score. So it's quite useful and it's safe, and you don't have to pass any credit check to apply. You can pay anyone fast and free because you can transfer money to your friends or family, whatever the bank they use. Because if they have already installed Chime in their phone, you can send money straight away. The payments are safe and secure. It's fast and free of charge. And to end with, we already said that to use this fintech, you don't have to pay any fee at all. You can grow your savings automatically, getting pay more than the common average API that offer common banks. They already have more than 8 million users in the United States. This data goes far away to 2020, so I believe that amount increased a lot after the pandemic. Chime already has some security features. For example, you can block the transaction to your debit card, and you also receive instant transaction alerts in order to understand if someone is using your debit card for something that you don't want. And you can also block international transactions. This is a cool feature. You can take a photo of a check and you get paid instantly, so you don't have to go to any bank and deposit that check. If you take a photo of a check, then that money goes straight away to your bank account. You can also incorporate the credit or the debit card to Google Pay and Apple Pay, also Samsung Pay, so it's useful if you don't want to go out with your credit card. You can use only just your phone to pay in any shop that accepts Google Pay or Apple Pay. And even though you can send a check to a person or a business using a feature that is included in the mobile application. So to sum up, I believe that they did a really quite good job. It's all free. You can even get cash without paying any fee. That is the main feature that most of the fintech struggle with. You can get paid more in API. You can get paid early in comparison with the common bank. So I believe it's worth trying. And remember that this is insured by the FDIC, even though that Chime is a financial technology. It's not a bank, but works with Bancorp and Stripe Bank. So you are covered if you use this application as if you use a normal bank. I hope that you enjoyed this review. Please subscribe, please share with someone that may help this information, and see you on the next video. Leave a comment if you have any question. Bye.